in a way that leaves no doubt. And that's how he works. He don't leave no doubt to how he gonna do things. I asked Yahuwah this AM who he wanted to use as an example of someone who fought his helper or his help. He said if it ain't broke, then whispered Saul. I knew exactly who he was talking about and what he was talking about as far as Saul. And Job unequivocally trusted his help. We have been focused on Saul and Job for the last few recordings. And we'll continue as long as the Most High says so. But we see there in Samuel 15 and 24, then Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the command of Yahuwah and your words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. So just because people come up with this new doctrine, which all started right here in the last few years, that we're from this land. And this is where Yasharal is. And this is where Egypt is. I say not so. Not so. And then Job 13 and 15, though he slay me, yet I will trust him. Even so, I would defend my own ways before him. See, Job had it all together. Unlike Saul, Saul was thinking about the people. And really, he was thinking about himself. He was like, I'm going to look good if I do this, that, and the other. Them people talking about, why don't we keep these sheep? They're the best we've ever seen. And Saul said, yeah, we'll keep them. And the king that Saul was supposed to kill or to unalive, he probably said, well, look here, I got a stash of gold and it's all yours if you don't kill me. Just let me go. You're gonna never hear from me again. You know how you do when you plead and bargain. Yeah. And I can't say that's true, but the text doesn't say it, and neither does it say it, that's what happened. But it had to be something to make Saul not want to kill that king. And I ponder that quite often. But then we looked at Psalms 121 and 1. It says, I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from Yahuwah, the maker of heaven and earth. Indeed, he who watches over Yasharal will neither slumber nor sleep. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. And this is the main point we wanted to get to today. And it's Ezekiel 37, one kingdom, one king. Again, the word of Yahuwah came to me saying, as for you, son of man, take a stick for yourself and write on it, for Judah and for the children of Yasharal, his companions. Then take another stick and write on it, for yourself the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Yasharal, his companions. Then join them one to another for yourself into one stick, and they will become one in your hand. And when the children of your people speak to you, saying, will you not show us what you mean by these? Say to them, you're just a young nig. Don't worry about it. Go back to robbing and killing out there on them streets. And that's the attitude this generation has towards our young children, the next generation. And it wasn't long after this Israeli woman came to America and spoke her now infamous words that the black youth was the #1 enemy of the state of Israel. She also added that they will be working with the leaders in our community to address the problem. Did anyone else pick up on that and what she was really saying? And shortly thereafter, this young nig mess started on the internet. And a little before that time, and right around the same time, they've been pushing this agenda that our homeland is here. and not Africa, when that's the root of every colored individual. It didn't start here. Now folks are saying that civilization started here in America. I mean, ignorant folk, straight ignorant. They just jump on the bandwagon and keep riding until the wheels fall off, and then they look straight up like they are ignorant, stupid. Thus says Yahuwah, surely I will take the stick of Yosef, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Yasharal, his companions, and I will join them with it, with the stick of Yehuda, and make them one stick, and they will be one in my hand. And the sticks on which you write will be in your hand before their eyes. Then say to them, thus says Yahuwah, surely I will take the children of Yasharal from among the nations, wherever they have gone, and will gather them from every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land, on the mountains of Yasharal, and one king shall be over them all. They shall no longer be two nations, nor shall they ever be divided into two kingdoms again. Now, family, another thing that's been going around is that this 12 tribe chart is true. But no, it's a makeup also. Now, how it was made up was back in the day, I believe in the 60s. This fella that had started preaching the truth, he started saying that the people from the islands, Puerto Rico, Haiti, what's the other one? And a couple of more. They started saying that they was part of the 12 tribes, but they're not the 12 tribes. The Afro folks from around the four corners of the earth is Yehuda. Judah was scattered, and the rest of the tribes stayed in Africa, the homeland. And it's so simple. Folks try to make it hard, but it's simple. They're trying to, and the fella that made up that 12 tribe chart with his compadres after he died, they was like, he made that up just for the money, for the power and the money. In their eyes, it was going to be brown versus white. So they figured the more brown folks they had on their side, brown and black people they had on their side, the better off they would be when it came down to a race war. But they was wrong. It's not about a race war, it's about truth versus evil war, and righteousness versus unrighteousness. So we have to stay focused, family, on the truth, and who's telling it and who's not. See, I heard this young lady saying in a post, it's like, we're not agents because we're asking questions. No, you're not. But what makes you an agent is when you speak against the truth. The Most High's word, what he says about it. See, these people who say they're from this land, they get all the way up until the point that they're trying to make and sound good. We're Yasharal, praise the Most High. They have the lingo down. And see what they've done, they studied this awakening. These agents, they are agents. Be sure that they studied this awakening and sounded so good up until this point. But then they went left. And a lot of them, I don't believe they really understand what they're saying. Yeah, I heard I was an Indian. My grandmother said I was an Indian. And now that our homeland are making strides towards reparations, all of a sudden here come them trying to fight against Africa.